This is the Specialist Territorial Support Group of Britain's biggest police force.
So the unit have just been called to apprehend a particularly dangerous individual.
The suspect has been accused of kidnap. This is the manhunt.
The block is situated on the first floor. Once we get in, you get meted by a communal door, and then you get greeted by another communal door, and then up a flight of stairs to the ground floor. We'll take a left, and there'll be 2 doors on your left-hand side.
Police! Police!
This is an increased campaign targeting serious violent offenders. Over months, Channel 4 News was given exclusive access to the front line, investigating murder, nationwide county lines, and guns. But as the perception of crime in the capital worsens, the numbers show serious violence is down, and the Met say this is how. After a shooting in South London, CJ and Reese are deployed to suppress known offenders. Their patrol is being directed by ANPR, automatic number plate recognition software that flags marked suspects to be stopped.
ANPR receiving?
Yeah, cool, ANPR.
Cool, hello. Has that hit any further cameras at all? We've been in the area, done an area search, there's no trace of it so far.
Yeah, no, make it too far, that was last week.
But the car has not, and the suspect is out of reach.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, really. It can't be everywhere.
Surveillance technology has impacted offending in the capital, but new tech creates new challenges.
People on the e-bikes, they're quite good tools for gang-related sort of ride-outs as well into other people's territory. They make our life a lot more difficult, unfortunately.
Right now we are in pursuit of a group of young boys. There have been previous reports of phone robberies happening, and we know that electric bikes are the suspect's preferred getaway vehicle.
Violent e-bike robberies are one of the fastest growing crimes affecting public perception of safety.
Police officer, stop! Nah, they've gone. They've well gone.
E-bikes evade ANPR and are being used by organised crime groups.
I tried running, that wasn't happening.
The suspects vanish. But 20 miles northwest, officers have intel on an alleged Afghan drug lieutenant. His organised crime group are under investigation in connection to a murder. So this operation requires reinforcements.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go.
Come on, please.
Oh, I'm coming, bro. Mate, you're not in control of this, yeah?
The suspect has now been charged for the supply of Class B drugs.
I'm happy. And I heard no one got injured again, so that's the most important thing. Very good result to be not even 6 in the morning. And now we have a long day ahead.
The officers head to a shop suspected of being part of the supply network. More men are in cuffs. But the main reason the police are here is for the public.
We want them to know about the activity we've taken today. So obviously it's all written down there, the 5 males in custody.
The problem is the fight on crime has become an international information war.
You have areas in London where the police don't even want to go anywhere near those areas. Today you have people being stabbed in the ass.
Policing has always been politicised.
And actually crime is another reason why people are leaving London.
Now social media has incentivised misinformation. Despite the homicide rates falling to the lowest on record, dropping dramatically since 2003, according to new research by King's College London, the number of Reddit posts promoting London as dangerous rose from 874 in 2008 to almost 250,000 in 2025. Across social media, this posting has been led by far-right political influencers.
It's filled with crime. It often doesn't feel like Britain at all.
But what is the golden age of crime-free London? The 1700s patrolled by deadly highway robbers, the 1880s of Jack the Ripper, or the 1960s of the East End Cray gangsters. This East London road was known as Murder Mile in the late 90s and early 2000s, when gun violence was peaking.
The killings began back in 1997 with the murder of 16-year-old Guy Dance Akers at Chimes nightclub. There's been several shootings outside the club.
This is the bar at the centre of the notoriety today. Now on so-called Murder Mile, the big challenge is picking sushi or tapas.
Now it's quite nice and trendy places. There's lots of families lives here.
I believe it's one of the safest roads or areas in London.
Farouk and Bourjou have been in this area since the early 2000s, along with store owner Terence, who remembers when shootings rose.
I came here 25 years ago as this was at its peak. The yard to where our main event space is was blocked off in the morning with police lines, and I thought, my God, what's going on? So it kind of very radically improved, but you're left with a different kind of blueprint for crime round here now.
Terence has faced challenges with theft, and although homicide has fallen, a series of shootings nearby returned past fears and remind of the enduring challenge. 4 miles west, we receive a call about a murder. Teenage homicide has fallen to its lowest levels in almost 30 years. But that will be no comfort to the victim's family. He has been named as 15-year-old Adam Henry.
This is why there is a disconnect between what the data shows and public crime perception. Because even though the numbers show that crime has fallen, it's ultimately the death of a 15-year-old that sticks.
2 men aged 20 and 39 have been charged for the murder of the young boy. There is now an order allowing searches without grounds. The police say this will suppress escalation. Last year, homicide in England and Wales fell. This year, the capital has a lower homicide rate than Berlin, Paris or New York. In every major city, safety is on a knife edge. But in the age of misinformation, the thin blue line between raising concern and spreading fear has broken.
Simeon Brown with that special report. Well, earlier, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, sat down for an interview with Simeon, who started by asking him whether London was a safe city.
We're definitely a safe city. And I think, whilst it's hard to compare data internationally, homicide figures is the one that you can compare. And as your report says, compare it to big European cities, American cities, we're safer. As your report illustrates, the battle will never be over. But I think we should be proud as Londoners of how safe London is.
If your message is that London is safe, that is in conflict with so much social media reporting. It's in conflict with parliamentarians, even the President of the United States. Has the war on crime become ultimately an information war, and is the Met losing it?
So, as a police officer, I deal with facts and evidence. I'm not interested in the rhetoric in the wider world. But I am interested in the trust and confidence of Londoners, because we can only succeed with their trust and confidence. And I am concerned that in a sort of social media world where, as you indicate, people are deliberately drawn towards the most extreme, the most provocative, the most exciting content, that can warp opinions, and that comes from many, many sources. And we've seen bots having a bigger and bigger impact on what's online, and sort of that's an attack on London's reputation.
I mean, you're doing a lot to try and shift the perception of crimes. You think about 1,500 officers recruited who did not meet vetting standards. When you think about a series of misconduct cases and serious offences, even the decision not to reopen the case into Prince Andrew, ultimately is the question, has misinformation eroded trust, or has the erosion of trust in the Met enabled misinformation to thrive? And if so, what is going to be the response?
We're not a perfect organisation, and I started as commissioner on the back of scandals 3 years ago, and we've had to be really clear about having a sort of a ruthless clear out in terms of the standards, the professional standards in the organisation. 1,500 people have been forced out. It's more than 3 times the rates before, and we've had to talk about that. Us sorting our sort of dirty washing out in public has been important. It generates more of those headlines. But also, that's the transparency showing we're sorting it. Over the last 18 months, we can see trust in the police in London rising. So we are winning that battle.
So we spent several months on the front line with your officers, and they were blaming the courts backlog and talking also about the lack of prison spaces. What impact has wider systemic failings had on the front line?
I'm really nervous about the struggling criminal justice system. Government has clearly got a series of reforms they've announced recently and work they're doing to try and fix that. We need repeat offenders to be remanded in custody. We need to be able to protect communities from the most dangerous people. We need a court system that works quickly. I'm massively frustrated that we are now charging people with offences in London and their court date is 2030. As a victim of crime, that will never ever feel like justice.
Because one of the concerns that we were hearing is that specialist units, like burglary, for example, would be closing. And we know that with theft, that's a major challenge. People are saying that officers don't turn up when they report, a burglary or a phone robbery. And so can you tell us whether specialist units will be closed?
We need the flexibility to be able to target the most dangerous and the most prolific offenders, and that's what we're doing. So I'm frustrated as Commissioner that I've had to shrink the organisation by 3,300 officers and staff in 3 years. That's not great when you've got more expectation. So we're having to be ever more laser-like and focused in what we target.
Last year, there was a rumour in police circles that you were considering standing down. Was there any truth in that? And what is your appetite for the job now?
I love it. So this is both the most demanding, stretching, sort of a sort of extraordinary job on the one hand, but it's also the most rewarding, the most uplifting, the most inspiring. I'm not going anywhere. There may be a few of the sort of unpleasant individuals we're getting rid of who might want me to go, but I'm not going anywhere.